If I gave you $1 million right now and asked you to invest it, sector-wise, what would you put it in, assuming we're going to have a mid to late 26 top? And then maybe that could be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then like things like RWA or AI or this kind of thing. But like roughly, what would you put that in? Especially, I guess I'm asking more on the altcoins or the altcoin sectors. What do you like?
Yeah. So I think that I believe in usually managing my portfolio through the barbell strategy, which is, 85% or so is going to be on the more blue chip, safer investments. That would be Ethereum, Solana, SWI, Chainlink, probably even then you go down the risk curve a little bit more, but still I think a lot of potential. Avalanche, things like that.
Top 25 market cap kind of things.
Yeah, top 50, top 25. Yeah, I still think that's all fair game in that blue chip category, especially when you start eliminating how many of those top 50 include stable coins and other things like the BUIDL fund and stuff like that. So true altcoins. And then I would go down and look at, things that, and of course, like this is me being biased, but, from like obviously I'm very bullish on what I'm building, right? When you look, and I'll just use me as an example because it's the easiest. I understand it the most. Right? And so people watching this, he's shilling his own bags. And I'm not saying to go buy my coin, but I'm saying that looking at projects and founders like me who are clearly trying to do things right and trying to build something that is going to be around for generations and trying to build something that's going to open up to America. Not saying that we're going to be successful. I'm trying to be successful. But, if you can find these kind of opportunities where you see the token is still down 99% from all-time highs because there hasn't been an alt season yet. There hasn't been a thing where so far since 2021, Launchpad performance has not performed. The meme coin thing has taken the spotlight. Like I said, I think people have got burnt on that. So that's going to take some work. That's going to take going and looking at projects that maybe once were in the spotlight and what are they doing now? So you got to go do some research and find out. Another thing that it's not altcoins necessarily, but one of the things that I've been extremely impressed with is a trading algorithm that I've partnered with that's trading Bitcoin for me. I am not a trader, but I've always thought that if I can generate yield off my Bitcoin, that would be so great because I've given Bitcoin twice in my life to other people to manage and trade for me, and both times I've lost it entirely. And so this time, this is a strategy I'm using that it's called a Bitcoin accumulation strategy. And when you understand the law of compounding returns, they're incredibly powerful. And so this trading algorithm that I'm running, people can find it on my YouTube channel. But it's just able to do high frequency trading with really low leverage. And so far it's done since March 10th, it's traded for me. It's done 69 trades, won every single one of them. Bitcoin would need to go to like $1,000 for me to get liquidated. And I remain the owner of that exchange account. And I know that they can't do anything stupid with it. And they only get paid if they make money for me. So I like that because on average, they've returned 36% a year on your Bitcoin. And I'm a big believer in Bitcoin. I just think it's like the most obvious risk to reward play right now. And if you compound 36% over 10 years, you start with one Bitcoin, you end with 10 Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin goes to, $1 million or 10 million, now you've got 10 Bitcoin, and that's enough for anyone to retire off of pretty much at that point. So that's
Investment Club. Today, I consider it the best investment that I've ever made. We get 4 projects presented a week by their associated CEOs. Personally, I'm completely blown away by the quality of these projects, and I know of nowhere else where I would be given this same opportunity. Each week that passes, I feel more appreciative of the fact that I'm a member of this group. The vibe was just tremendous. Everybody's on the same wavelength. We just clicked. Everybody listened to each other, enjoyed their company. It was just magical, magical. Take action. Don't take my word for it. Due diligence you need to do. And I really hope that someday down the road I see you in the club. It far exceeded expectations, without question.
Bitcoin, and I'm big of it. And then also things like, I think right now, so I'm talking to you about things I have high conviction in, right? And I've mentioned the layer ones. I've mentioned interoperability plays like Chainlink. Another one that's really interesting in really interesting. Why I felt was so fascinated by them is a project called Mind Network. So Chainlink has, if you believe that Chainlink is going to be hugely valuable to the traditional financial rails, like I do, then that ecosystem becomes very interesting. And Chainlink has something called a build program. And they designate, it's like an incubator, and they designate the participants in that program by tiers. And a tier 1 project means that that project is critical to the Chainlink technology stack that essentially can't function without that integration from that partner. And one of my portfolio companies called Mind Network is the privacy layer for Chainlink. So if you look at a lot of the bank reports who did trials with Chainlink, they say, this is fantastic, we could use this, but the problem is Chainlink has no privacy built in. And so what is when you start doing things like using AI agents at a trading firm, because if AI can do everything better than humans, which it can at most things already, of course, firms like JP Morgan and others are going to start using AI agents for trading. And they want to do that on chain eventually, because that's the most efficient markets. It will be the most efficient markets. Those transactions and those strategies need to remain private, right? When bank A sends money to bank B using Chainlink's CCIP program, it needs privacy. And so the holy grail of encryption technology is called FHE. And so Mind Network is that tier 1 designated partner with Chainlink. And they just launched like a month or so ago. There's not a whole lot of awareness around there. I still think it's a really good entry. And when it comes to gaming, my highest conviction play, I'm a really big early stage investor in Gunzilla. But even though I invested in between my fund and myself personally as an angel, we have a large percent of the token supply. I still am buying Gunzilla open market today. Why? Because I don't know what it is right now, the currently time of filming, but when I checked like 3 days ago, it was a $36 million market cap. And all tokens from all other categories are locked for 12 months from the TGE. So that means that for the next 10 months or so, there's no more inflation, which means that the market cap that you need to pay attention to is not FDV, it's circulating market cap. At a 35 or even $50 million valuation for Gunzilla, that's co-founded by Neil Blomkamp, who made District 9 and Elysium, Hollywood Star, director, with a huge stuff of news in the pipeline that they haven't disclosed yet, and a tier 1 game that's on PlayStation, on Xbox. It's getting, millions of on-chain transactions every day, and hundreds of thousands of users in the beta tests with all tier 1. They've raised tons of money. Like, I can't think of any other project in the entire crypto market that in the next 10 months makes sense as a trade, right? So why am I buying Gunzilla on the open market when I already have a big supply? Well, because that big supply is like, I believe that's going to be, I'm probably not going to sell those tokens this bull market. If it's a 4-year cycle, we will have been in the bear market by the time those unlock. But if we get a blow off top in December, like a lot of 4-year analysts predict, then no VCs are taking anything out that invested in Gunzilla, which means that the current circulating supply is the current circulating supply, which means if we go into an altcoin season, that thing's going parabolic, in my opinion. And so from a risk reward perspective, that's why I'm still buying the Guns token on the open market right now. Off the top of my head, those are what I would think of.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.